There will be a nice large room up ahead, and I'll meet you there. Right here, you're doing a nice walk.
Yeah. It gets smaller.
Yeah, get up here. Get up, my mom. Cozy in. Everybody got to get in here.
Keep the video of it. Daddy do that. I want you to be able to hold on. It's hooked to him.
So there we are. Welcome once again to Oregon Caves, the Marble Halls of Oregon. Now that we're here, what do you notice around you? Change in atmosphere, temperature, pointing up. What's up there? Right? These winding labyrinths in the stone. Kind of these formations, the shiny ceiling, those are all water droplets. It's actually how the cave gets formed. The water droplets dissolving the marble, the river that's running below us. Right? Carving out the walls as it goes. So a little science primer. The marble, mostly made of calcite. Where's that coming from? Way back long ago in the ocean. Little creatures, the coral, the hermit crabs, pretty much everything. Even little microbes sucking up this calcium carbonate called calcite, turning it into seashells. Nice and pretty. Seashells get mashed up, ground together, creating limestone, a sedimentary rock that gets put into the oven. High heat, high pressure in the Earth's mantle. On the other side, you get marble, still very rich in that calcite. And then that calcite gets dissolved by carbonic acid. Where's that coming from? The rainwater, right? Slightly acidic, mixing with the carbon dioxide and the air and the soil as things breathe, as things decompose. So that dissolves the calcite in the rock. And where does it go? It goes right back on the walls. Right here we have cave popcorn. If anyone's hungry. You see all the little water droplets hanging on the walls, containing a little bit of that calcite. As the slight breeze, you feel that, blows by, evaporating the water droplets, crystallizing all these little popcorn all over. So it's a bit of a survival thing. Think about it. You get this breeze. Where's that happen? Typically towards the entrance, where you have this inside and outside difference constantly blowing through. Where you get this popcorn as well. But where are those stalactites, the stalagmites? What we came here for. Man, we might see them later, right? As we go deeper into the cave, away from the safe outside world, we'll find another type of safe environment. One that's very constant. Try to look out for that. When that changes, when the walls change. Get your explorer goggles on as we continue deep. Oh no, there they are. Right, completely different scenery, just a few steps deeper in the cave. It's a little warmer now, isn't it? No more breeze blowing by, halting the formations of these more precious inner cave formations. The walls melting around us, all these little icicles on the ceiling, but it's all hard as rock, that same calcite. Lift up, you might catch a little drip in your eye. Cave kiss, it's good luck. You see this kind of twinkling starry sky above, all these little water droplets, once again containing a little bit of calcite. And right before it drops, it's depositing a little bit of the calcite, growing these maybe a 1,000th of an inch. Before it drips down, and you get one of these lumps, these stalagmites, right below it, from the same water droplet. Stalactite growing down, stalagmite growing up. What's going to happen eventually? Yeah, they might meet in the middle. Like this. Sure. We call that a column. We might see one of those later on. And sometimes the water doesn't drip, but it flows. Down the walls here, you can imagine a little water flow frozen in time, melting the rock and redepositing as it travels. And then, when the water kind of goes over at the edge, you got cave bacon. Nice piece of bacon right there. Kind of see-through, that thin layer of calcite.
That does look like bacon.
Yeah, you see that? Nice and marbled. As the water travels down the wall, kind of hugging the sides. Sure. What's right next to it? How do we get a flat formation? One of these stalactites has been broken. You might see a number of those in this room. Man, who did that? Sometimes the early explorer, doing whatever they can to survive, delving into this deep unknown environment, breaking formations as they go. Whatever to survive, little breadcrumb trails so they can find their way back out. Maybe a survival of any number of uses for these unique formations around us. These really thin ones, we call them soda straws. The early stage of these stalactites, they're hollow in the middle. Maybe a straw, pipe stem, medical device, something like that. Maybe a souvenir for an eager tourist. Or a natural process where this breeze blows in freezing temperatures. Same water that builds them up can break them down, right? Put a water bottle or something in the freezer, forget about it. Next morning, man, broken, right? Shattered open. Water expands when it freezes. If it seeps into a crack and expands, it's going to break it. So sometimes that's natural, but maybe not always. We might find out about that later. But back to these early explorers. No lights to guide their way. No path, smooth path to walk on. No handrail to lean on, keeping them out of harm's way. Just a little candlelight guiding their tour. Crawling over these formations or through these tunnels, maybe even in the river. Imagine making your way through this cave like that. And as we continue deeper once again. we want to step forward just a little bit, get everyone across that little bridge, and start looking up, where we see what you're probably thinking of when you hear marble, that smooth countertop, beautiful graphite lines. What's going on with it? What's this guy?
Plant.
A plant root. Whoa.
That's what I was
How deep do you
thinking.
think we are right now?
Not. 20.
20 what?
Centimeters?
Yeah, closer to 70, maybe 50, 60 feet below the surface right now. Man, all that way the root's reaching down, right? It's probably a tree root, honestly, forcing its way through the soil, the sediments, even the hard marble, right? To hold itself down, probably for nutrients as well, just reaching as far as it can get, anything to survive, right? But slowly, just like this, holding itself to the ground, in the process holding everything together, right? Roots are very good, trees are very good at fending off erosion, keeping everything together. So much so, if I were to give this root a tug, the whole roof would come with it. Whoa.
You're strong.
I won't do that to you. But in that sense, we all comfortable with a little cave darkness?
Sure.
Sure. So, 3, 2, 1.
Yay.
Listen to the creek.
What?
Listen for splashing sound.
So now we talk about when this cave was first found, 1874. No development on this mountain, no cave junction without the cave, right? Near a city maybe 30 miles away on horseback. Man, these are remote little mountains here. So hunter, adventurer, mountaineer, this Elijah Davidson, and more importantly, his dog Bruno. They were out here on these mountains. Well-trained dog, that Bruno. But he was dashing off after nothing. No command, no target. Elijah gets this weird feeling. Look, chases after him as he must. Now over the hill, Bruno disappears. Elijah going faster yet, catches this cool breeze hit his face, these chills down his spine. Hearing this barking, this growling, seemingly from the mountain itself. Stream coming out of nothing. And up ahead, a little hole in the ground. Huh. The sunlight reaches a few feet. He's peering in, looking in. As the light escapes him, with each step, finds himself in this type of darkness. Fumbling around in his pockets, what can he find but 6 matches? Lighting one of them, finding himself in a little cave. Wow. Now begins our journey, deeper into the cave. Letting the match burn down to his fingertips. Lighting the second match. With each step, the shadows dancing across the walls. Lighting the third match. How deep each passage might go, you really can't tell. Lighting the fourth match. Pulled in by the cave's beauty, its mystery, the journey he's trying to take. The fifth match, anyone keeping count? Lighting the sixth and final match, he realizes you do have to get out of the cave.
Whoops.
So turning around, the shadows casting in opposite directions, new faces of the rock. He didn't notice before, the same passage he just walked in on looks completely different, looking back on it. And just like that, getting lost, stumbling through the cave, his last match. Goes out and leaves him in a darkness maybe even darker than this. Man, what do you do then?
Your eyes adjust.
Hope your dog gets you out.
Yeah,
Wait until your eyes adjust or just wait and die.
well,
Find
the
the
second one maybe.
Take the easy way out. Find a sharp rock.
But
Your dog.
down here in the cave, we have absolute darkness. Right? Your eyes could adjust and adjust and adjust, but it would still see nothing.
No pivots can save you.
You know, you think about the animals, the bats' echolocation, the sound, right? The bears and the dogs, probably with their scent, right? Smell. Little spiders and millipedes with their long arms and sensors, with their feeling, taste, to maneuver in this darkness. Because even the best eyesight's not going to do you any good down here. You know, we see the creatures that live here, they don't even grow eyes. It's just wasted energy. Isn't that crazy? And even we have slowly begun to adapt to the cave, become cave creatures ourselves. Arms growing longer by the minute.
All right.
But you might be able to see your hand in front of your face now.
No.
Yeah, good luck.
Maybe I put it right in the eye. Nope.
You know, but your mind starts to grab onto whatever it can get. You know, it knows the hand's there physically, so it fills in those gaps. Little flashes of light, corner your vision. The water echoing through the cave, little voices in the distance. Ooh. But back to this Elijah, right? He's still sitting here. How do you get out?
Start feeling your way.
Yeah, just feeling your way. Reach a dead end. Oops.
Fall into the river.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very lucky. Have a little river running right out of the cave. You think you can do that though? Crawl your way there, follow it out. And
Be chilly.
but I'll let you try it here today. I'll see you all outside.
I'm voting for the challenge.
Yeah, maybe in another cave we can try that.
Throw yourself and see which way you go. You go down or up.
Tiger. I'm gonna snap your neck now.
So, but yeah, I heard it as well. That's a cold river, colder than the cave.
Mm.
Man, it was your only option, feeling your way out. Eventually, seeing that sunlight, seeing Bruno waiting outside for it. Well, what's the point? This darkness might be a little scary, but it could also be kind of calming. Right? Maybe we could just stand here for about 30 seconds.
Doing.
And there we are. Ready for light?
Yes. No.
We have slowly begun to adapt our little night vision. You might be able to see my hand waving the rocks behind us. Once again, probably not. When I relight this little match, maybe like a torch.
Oh.
Now I'm blinded.
Yeah, right.
Flashbang.
Just the slightest amount of light
That's crazy.
illuminating the whole passage now. Man. But I will turn on the lights as we need them.
Don't.
Up. Well. I guess we'll continue the tour like this, slowly making our way out of the cave. There we go.
Oh no.
But now that we're adapted to this cave environment, you know, we can pay closer attention to everything. Better appreciate the cave. The walls, what stories they might tell, how they formed throughout history. As we go deeper once again.
Watch your head. Move your head on the roof. Carve some steps into these things. Oh, heck, somebody locked the door on us.
Yeah.
I knew caves came with doors.
Next challenge.
That room.
We'll all have to work together to force this door open.
Alright, Riker, we're gonna grab it by the limbs and use your battery.
No, it's not like that. But yeah, what's a door doing inside a cave?
You put it there.
They sure did. They also put this little tunnel here. Yeah. All these little holes drilled into the ceiling, these scars of dynamite, blasted out. The Civilian Conservation Corps came in here in the 30s, put together most of this modern tour route, right? Nice and walkable, nice and safe. Beforehand, the tour guides could do whatever they wanted. Take you crawling for minutes on end, no chance to stand up. Climbing up these sheer walls. You know, maybe even dipping in the river, just for fun. They tell you 90-minute tour, might be 4 hours. Hey, someone's idea of a good time, get your money's worth. But we want more people to be able to experience these environments, right? But when we first made this, the door wasn't here. So once again, why did they put the door in, right? Try to observe.
Dang it, what is it?
Yeah, getting chilly.
It's the air conditioner, by gosh.
The air conditioning over there.
Yes. I gave him my sweater.
Man,
Where they store the meats.
they actually did.
Store the
Back
bags.
before they had refrigerators up here.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, that cool breeze rushing through the entire cave, that's why we get those broken formations earlier, that frost wedging we talked about. Just because of this little tunnel, right? Unforeseen circumstances. So after 50 years, we realized this was happening. All our greatest minds, scientists, mathematicians, everything, came together, installed this door. Wow. Solving the problem, but also, we've already done thousands of years worth of damage, right? So think about all the other little side effects we have walking through the cave, noticing the paths, the rocks that had to be carved out. As we continue on, once again, holding the door for the person behind you.
It's one thing you can't touch, the door. Nice gentle breeze.
Shut the door on.
Hey, there's a phone. You call for help. Tell me. They got wiring too. Got internet down here. Quite that cave. Big hole.
little out of breath. It's not just the stairs, we're also slowly running out of oxygen.
Good thing we passed the phone.
Yeah, right. Just kidding. Kind of. Right. You know, this cave does have very good barometrics, airflow, plenty of little holes poked into the ceiling, constant airflow interspersing, but we listen for a moment. Yeah, it's real quiet. There's some buzzing of the light, sure. Hardly a drip of water. And just like the water finding the easiest path, the air also does. This is a bit of a dead end. So we do have a little bit less oxygen here. We breathe in, breathe out. This increased carbon dioxide is why we get all this little popcorn growing here. Right, we're not towards any yum. Right. A flowstone, a little bacon, maybe. But nothing else, right? The walls are pretty barren. What's going on? Once again, we're gonna kind of dry it up, right? Once bustling, thriving, water flowing through, widening the passage, the whole room, growing the formations. But it's since dried up, found a new path. The cave starts to die, stop growing, stagnate. Oh. But up ahead, we might see some signs of life. Try to look out for that. What that might look like. Let's go deeper once again.
Even deeper. There's some formation on the ceiling. Oh, water hole.
Talking about, what rewards, the goals of entering a cave. These early explorers, they're fame, right? You find a new room, you can name it whatever you want. Wow, what a prize. Finally, crawling, climbing your way to this room, looking around, letting your mind wander. Like the clouds or leaves in the trees, what's in the shadows and the rocks above. What might you name this room? The teddy bear room.
Rocky.
Rocky. Right. Kind of have the stairs leading up, sure. Any number of things. Probably notice a little heart. Heart of the cave. Oh, plaster decoration.
Mm-hmm.
Actually living. A bacteria organism called moon milk.
The heart.
Following a food source, growing like that. But just like the last room, it's quiet, it's dried up. Now just kind of a shell of what the life it once led, right? What it used to look like. Think about why these organic things are here, in this room. There might be another change in atmosphere up above. This is our first time going up. Well, that's not true.
We just went.
We did just go up. We've been going up. Why is that? Try to notice another change in atmosphere, right? Going up here.
It's a basket of some kind.
Yeah. Rescue mission.
Oh, watch your head.
You left your noodle?
Yep.
That's cool. It's warm.
It's warm up here.
I don't like it.
Oh, we got AD. Huh.
And there we are. Yeah, it's warmer. So here we have two paths. We observe what's different about them.
It goes out.
Yeah. How do you know it goes out?
The light.
The light. Sure.
In the warmth.
You can kind of tell what natural light is versus the not-natural light. Cool. You also got the little spider webs. Maybe some bugs crawling right above us.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a twilight zone where you're kind of in the cave, kind of not. You got the benefits, the shelter, the coolness. But it's non-committal. You're not in the total darkness, the cold, the lack of food, you know. Cool. So, we do give you the option here to leave the cave. Anyone feeling uncomfortable or anything for any reason. If you'd like to leave now, we're about halfway through the tour, a good third of the walking distance. It does get harder from here on, but would anyone like to leave the cave now? Once, twice, last chance. So in that case, we can remain in the cave as long as we want.
As long as we want to.
Cool. So what else is going on in this room here?
Is there a key on the rock?
Key on the rock.
Look like a dog tag, but I don't know.
Little dog tag. Cave's been through some things. No, it's a survey marker.
Oh, okay.
You'll see them throughout the cave. You want to play a little I Spy game. They're in every room we walk through, a little survey marker. Right. You find a room, put a mark on it, give it a little note.
You can name it.
Because GPS and maps don't work too well down here for research or survey. You know, you just have a set of waypoints. A to B, B to C, follow like that. Make sure you're in the right place. Nice observation. You know, all these little traces we leave as we go into the cave, we try our best to keep it a natural environment. It's very fragile. You know, the slightest thing can throw the ecosystem into a spiral. But try to notice those changes as we continue deeper. Once again.
You're sleeping.
Seen them yet? Seen. Oh, I did not like that.
Somebody's
For
up
a
there.
very brief second, it sounded like a little high-pitched ghost.
I need a high-pitched kid. Wandering around. They're apparently on their own cave tour.
I absolutely can see that. Like the spray foam stuff, Joe? Not just the like walls, but the go under like this. I can't move my wrist. Oh yeah.
there is the banana grove.
Oh, I see.
Right, all the bananas growing. We got a lot of water flow. Probably the biggest formations we've seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
The waterfall flowing down the wall, melting the rock as it goes. Literally the whole floor, if you look at it, is this flow zone. Man. Little waterfall frozen in time. And then on the other side, you got the little potato patch. A whole bunch of these stalagmites growing up from the ground. But why, where are the stalactites above them? What's going on? Many of the formations up ahead here and in this room have been broken. You even see right here the path that we made breaking the flowstone so we could walk. Right? These traces we leave.
Watch your head, buddy. Little banana room.
Yeah, we want to continue forward, let everyone in here.
Oh, the ceiling over here.
We've got far more broken formations
Lots of
up
broken.
ahead here. You know what's going on. Once again, either tourist or maybe opportunity. Right, this little crawl space here. Once a whole bunch of formations blocking the way, you break them, you find out, wow, it keeps going. It's all hollow underneath here. Right, opening up a new passage, a little sacrifice you gotta make. And what about the rock behind us? What's going on there?
Your road arm.
Whoa. Who did that? No, I wasn't looking. But how old do you think these are? These signatures here.
July 21st,
What's it do?
1897.
1897, yep.
1897. Long time ago. Kind of historic. Maybe change your perspective on it. Written in pencil, we tried to erase it, but found we couldn't. A new layer of calcite had already flowed over it, laminating it in there.
Huh.
Wow, right. Maybe in a few hundred years it'll be covered once again. Wouldn't that be neat? Different type of carbon dating. So, running these tours in here, you know, these early guys, it was a challenge just to get to the cave itself. Once you're in there, man, no path or anything, crawling and climbing, getting cold and wet. Eventually, this was the end of their tour. They felt like they earned a little note in the guest book, right? Mark their territory, a souvenir for home. Looking at it, it almost looks organic. You kind of imagine this is a fungus, it'll grow back next year. They found that wasn't happening. The walls beginning littered with signatures, tour after tour, kind of calling in the first acts of preservation. Right, this early tour guide, Walter Birch, he writes, "Do not destroy," right on the rock for everyone to see. He goes on, I said this was the end of the tour, right? What's happening behind us? It used to be a little crawl space, like the one I pointed out. Just a few formations, and this heavy wind blowing out, meaning there was a lot of cave on the other side. So he felt this, broke the few formations till he was just able to squeeze himself through, taking off his gear, even his clothes, as the story goes, just to fit through. Man. Dedication. Gotta suck in for that too. So, finds over there half of the cave on the other side, you know, paid off, for sure. So we spent the next few weeks digging through, laying in this little puddle of water here at the time. breaking the formations, blasting the top. Do not destroy. But drawing those comparisons between the broken formations behind us or the ones on that side, right? What purpose they serve or what use we can get out of them kind of defines it. Just like these signatures, right? Kind of historical at this point. Sometimes people come in here, that was my great-great-grandfather. Wow. Right? Versus a spray painted 23 might not have the same effect. So, dude,
22, 23.
yeah, even that, right? Ooh, 19, 23. What? But do you think these signatures are natural or unnatural? Ooh. Unnatural.
A rhetorical question?
Yeah.
I say natural.
Sure, right? It's graphite, it's a natural element. It's really just a question of what we are, right? I usually follow it up with the bear scratches a tree, marking its territory.
97.
We could probably agree that that's natural, right? But graffiti, vandalism, these paths here, natural or unnatural, As we continue deeper, talking music.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said it's not natural.
I mean, valid, rude but valid. It's not
Like your head.
Yeah.
I feel like we should take more time to look at the random stuff like this too. I think we throw on those random holes.
Oh, there's one of them bags
I
catching
wanna
stuff.
go both ways.
Oh, that's your noodle.
You were my one.
Yeah. Those bags catching.
What?
The PVC.
Oh, the one back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are measuring devices. You saw one earlier in that other room.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 of them throughout the cave, set up in 1999. Collecting the water. Not really for any purpose, but to measure it. How much water reaches the cave from the surface. Taking those measurements season by season, year after year. See how things affect the cave. How our tours affect the cave. Not just in the cave, but above the ground as well. Right? All of these little things. For example, right here, well, it's not really an example. That's a good segue. Up above us is remnants of a waterfall. Once again, we see these huge formations.
It's like a ribbon.
Right, these ribbons of bacon. Where you have a lot of water hitting a surface and literally melting the rock. A little waterfall frozen in time once again. And it crashes down here, hitting the ground, actually carving out this whole passage beneath us. That's all natural, besides the stairs. And even now, even with the slight drip, it does still carve something. Right? Little drip, dropping, carving a little hole there. And then the cement may be 30 years old. Already the little drops, carving little holes, nature kind of taking back. Sure. So back to this Walter Birch. Our favorite little guy. Finally crawls through that space, comes upon this bottomless pit. Whoa. No handrail, no stairs, no lights, just his lantern, shining about as far as the shadows start, maybe 5 feet, and then nothing, darkness. Could be 6 feet deep, it could be 100. There's really no way to tell. But he's eager to explore, begins tying a rope to himself, the rock starts repelling. down, lower and lower into this bottomless darkness. He drops his lantern. Oh.
No.
Hits the floor, shatters, candle goes out, hang in the darkness. Man. He keeps going, right? Got the light back, you got it. Lower and lower and lower and lower. Reaches the end of the rope. Man, still hanging. Still in the darkness, no telling. 2 options, right? Up or down. But really only one. He cuts his rope.
Oh,
Man, that's not what you would think, Jim.
2 things can happen.
Falls about a foot to the ground.
Oh.
We'll take the stairs today.
Good.
Man, scrambling around for his light, relighting it, going on to explore, getting lost once again, as they did. Sure. You know, the sacrifices they made so we could have an easy little tour like this. But he made no sacrifice, sure. But we want to be careful going on down these stairs. You know, the handrails are cold, but I would recommend them. And as the stairs get narrower, the ceilings lower and lower, it becomes a bit of a game of limbo. Ooh, how low can you go? You want to lean backwards instead of forwards, right? No cheating.
No cheating.
And good luck.
Limbo. Going limbo. Those rails a wet one.
Here's like trying and not pull up the harmony. Go through.
Oh wow, big ol' column. Look at that. Jeez.
The nice one.
Hide and go seek in the cave.
Can't see you.
That'd be the heck of a game. Marco Polo. No cheating. My God.
Coming downstairs.
That's cool.
There's a hole back that way.
Oh.
Watch your head.
This thing is up in position.
So there we go. You probably noticed that big guy.
Mm-hmm.
The grand column holding up the entire cave. A lot on its shoulders. Kind of. It's one of the oldest and largest columns in the cave, right? Kind of how we estimate the age, about 300,000 years old for the whole cave, because it can be a bit hard to date, right? Caves don't have too much to say. Kind of the absence of material, this cavity, and the rocks around it, much older, so you have to go off the formations. But to get the accurate reading, you have to cut into it. You wouldn't want to ruin such a thing long in the making, so we just estimate it based on the size. It's still kind of neat.
You got the column right.
Once again, talking about this tour path, up ahead you'll see
Yeah.
a whole bunch of broken formations so we can get through easily. Imagine crawling through it instead. But we do get a nice look inside the cave, all the little cross sections up ahead. Look really nice. You know, we already see a little bit, like right there where the formation's been broken off. That white marble, not muddy. What else have we got? Over here, a young column, right? You think how that one formed. Kind of like this, where you have a stalactite and a stalagmite slowly growing, both longer until they meet in the middle. That's why it gets its kind of broomstick shape, right? Following the flow of gravity as the water drops, leaving its little history. So up ahead is that low section, that 45 inches. Remember that silly little cave walk we practiced? And don't hit your head.
dig.
Going down.
What is that? Is that just marble?
Oh, why'd your head? Got it again. That is low enough.
You have this hard hat. I can get you one. If we do any more cave touring.
More spelunking. Over there. That's nice. Big old cabin.
There we go. You want to get on off top of this stairs. You reach kind of the photogenic side of the cave where we hold weddings on occasion. If you want a nice small invitation list. Invitation.
Yeah, how many rangers are ordained?
Right now we have a special. Probably none of those. But, you know, real beautiful little section where we have, once again, these real large formations, just like we've been seeing. But it makes you think, why so large? Why right here? And why not the ones right next to them? In perspective, we talk about estimating off the size. These grow about an inch every 1,000 years.
Whoa.
Man. How old one of these must be. How long until those two meet and become a column? Right there.
Oh, about 2 foot.